You know, it's pretty amazing how one single kind of outrageous joke can teach us something really profound about the hidden architecture of our language. We're going to look at one perfectly crafted line that pulls back the curtain on the secret rules of grammar, rules that we all follow without even realizing it.
So, it all kicks off with a question. And, yeah, it's a pretty shocking one. A character asks, with what seems like genuine confusion, "Trump is fucking Satan?"
And then you get the answer, delivered like it's the most obvious thing in the world, using the exact same words. Trump is fucking Satan.
Okay, so right off the bat, you're probably thinking, wait, how is that an answer? Just repeating the question as a statement? It doesn't make any sense. But the genius here isn't in the words themselves. It's in the invisible grammatical structure hiding underneath. It's a puzzle, and solving it unlocks a really fundamental feature of how we all communicate.
To crack this, we need to get our heads around a concept that comedians and writers have been using for, well, centuries. It's like a loophole in the official rules of language.
The fancy term for this is syntactic ambiguity. All it means is that sometimes the order of words in a sentence allows it to be understood in two or more completely different ways. The same string of words can build two totally different meanings.
The absolute king of this was the comedian Groucho Marx. This classic line is the perfect example. The whole joke hinges on one simple question. Who is actually wearing the pajamas here?
So think about it. Does the sentence mean Groucho was wearing his pajamas when he shot the elephant? That's the logical reading. Or was the elephant somehow inside his pajamas? Both are grammatically possible, and that collision between the probable and the absurd, that's where the comedy is born.
All right, so let's bring this back to the South Park joke. Where's the ambiguity? What's the pivot point? Well, it all comes down to one little swear word that's secretly working two different jobs at the same time.
See, in the question, fucking is a verb. It's describing an action. Is Trump performing the action of fucking Satan? But in the answer, it's doing something totally different. Linguists call it an expressive intensifier, which is just a fancy way of saying it means really or truly. It's not an action anymore. It's just a blast of emotional emphasis.
And what's cool is you can actually hear the difference yourself. Go ahead, try saying it. When you put the stress on the verb, is Trump fucking Satan, you're asking about the action. But when you stress the noun, Trump is fucking Satan, you're just making a strong statement that he is Satan. The whole meaning flips, just based on where you put the emphasis.
This whole trick reveals something absolutely fascinating about language. It's like it's operating on two different channels at the same time. One channel is for facts, and the other one is for feelings. The first channel is called truth conditional meaning. That's the part that makes a claim about the world that can be either true or false. Is this action happening? The second is expressive meaning. This part doesn't state a fact at all. It just broadcasts the speaker's emotions or attitude about the fact.
We usually think of swear words as being just, well, negative. But it turns out, when you look at huge collections of data from online reviews and things like that, that's not the whole story. These so-called taboo intensifiers, they're not really about being positive or negative. They're about being intense. And the data here is just so cool. Take a word like damn. If you look at product reviews, you see it used a ton in angry 1-star ratings. But you see it used just as much in thrilled 5-star reviews. And in the middle, in those neutral 3-star reviews, it basically disappears. So that tells you the word isn't about good or bad. It's about pure emotional intensity at either end of the spectrum.
And that is the secret to the South Park gag. The question is asked on that factual truth conditional level. Is this action literally happening? But the quote-unquote answer hijacks the sentence and replies on the emotional expressive level. No, he's just really, really Satan. It's a perfect grammatical bait and switch.
So now that you see this pattern, this game of playing with sentence structure, I promise you, you are going to start seeing it absolutely everywhere. It's a timeless tool that shows up in everything from the daily news to some of the greatest literature ever written.
You see it all the time in ambiguous newspaper headlines. Editors actually have a name for them, crash blossoms. This one could mean the British political left is being indecisive. Or it could mean they literally abandoned breakfast food on the islands. The sentence structure allows for both readings.
And this isn't some new thing. I mean, we're talking Shakespeare-level stuff. When he wrote this line in Romeo and Juliet, the words loins and lines were pronounced pretty much the same. So is he talking about their fatal lines, as in their family bloodlines, or their fatal loins, referencing their physical relationship? Well, the answer is both.
The ambiguity is the poetry.
So what is all of this, from Groucho Marx to South Park all the way to Shakespeare, what does it tell us about language itself? Why on earth is it built this way?
Well, it tells us that what looks like a flaw or a mistake, ambiguity, is actually one of language's most powerful features. It is not a bug. It's what allows a single string of words to hold multiple possibilities at once, to create humor and poetry and layers of meaning that a purely logical one-to-one system could never dream of.
This hidden flexibility is exactly what makes language so incredibly powerful. It's what lets a simple, silly joke reveal the complex, beautiful, and secretly coded system that we use every single day. So the next time you hear a really great joke, ask yourself, what rule is it secretly breaking?